Hello, welcome to The Update. I'm Maham Kashani. Business groups and unions have broadly welcomed Michelle Bullock's appointment as Reserve Bank Governor. She'll replace Philip Lowe in September after the federal government decided not to extend his 7-year term. Economist Peter Tulip from the Centre for Independent Studies says Miss Bullock's main job will be to implement reform at the bank.
The Reserve Bank review called for a big change in how the bank is run and its culture. Phil Lowe was essentially in charge of the old bank, and so he was not the person to put through a big change.
Voters are heading to the polls in a key federal by-election in the Gold Coast seat of Fadden. They're choosing a replacement for local MP Stuart Robert, who resigned following a number of scandals, including the illegal robo-debt scheme. It's tools down in Hollywood. 160,000 actors have joined writers on the picket line outside Netflix HQ, Paramount, Warner Bros. And Disney. It comes after talks broke down between the Actors Union, major studios and streaming giants over pay and the increasing use of artificial intelligence. Actor Brian Cox says the Guild wants a fairer deal.
Because without the WGA, without the writers, we have nothing. We depend on the writers. That's why you have shows like White Lotus, like Succession, and they're great shows, greatly written by great writers, and these writers deserve to be paid.
More university places are set to be reserved for First Nations students as well as those from disadvantaged families in the federal government's Universities Accord. The Australian reports universities will be put on notice to boost enrolments of disadvantaged students who are most likely to defer study due to costs. And an Indian spacecraft has successfully launched a rocket to the moon. The Chandrayaan-3 will attempt to land a rover on the lunar surface in its second mission in 4 years. In sport, the Matildas have beaten France 1-0 in their final hit-out before next week's World Cup. Mary Fowler scoring for Australia in the second half to seal the win in front of a home crowd in Melbourne. She says it's a great result going into the tournament.
It's just really good to be able to get that win heading into our first game of the World Cup. So I'm just really happy I could help the team out.
The Knights have kicked off round 20 of the NRL with a 34-18 win over the West Tigers. In AFL, the Demons snatched a 1-point win from the Lions at the MCG, and Caleb Ewan has pulled out of the Tour de France after being dropped during Stage 13 of the race. In entertainment news, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 has made more than $23 million at the US box office since its release 2 days ago. The film, starring Tom Cruise, is set to earn $80 million in ticket sales for its first 5 days in theatres. And that's the latest from the Nova Podcast News team, but we'll see you tomorrow morning for another episode of The Update.